Welcome to this week's episode. Why are you swinging your head?
I'm still feeling the beat.
Still like the beat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Welcome to Dispatches from Shed Quarters. I'm Mike.
I'm Jason.
Jason's feeling the beat. And he's not high. So
No.
So this is all natural.
This is all natural sugar water.
Sugar water.
Yes.
You must keep 7-Eleven.
Well, no. It's only recently I've been going back more. It used to be just a gaming thing for me.
Yeah.
Just been feeling the hankering for it.
Lack of sugar?
Kind of, not really a lack of sugar. Just there's something about the flavors that I get. I get specific ones.
You've got
blue raspberry with grape and orange.
Okay.
It's more the blue raspberry. That's like probably my favorite when it comes to like a candy flavor.
Then why wouldn't you get like more of it?
Because I like to break it up a bit. It can get to be a little bit much, particularly the sour aspect. Deadens the taste buds,
Gotcha. Oh, your calibrated taste buds can only withstand so much.
Oh, it's kind of like eating salt and vinegar chips. You eat salt and vinegar chips, you can't taste nothing for a day. Like,
because I think the acid in the vinegar has like completely burned away your
same
taste
type
buds.
of things.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Sour
is this
does
a scientific phenomenon?
Yes, I saw it on Good Eats with Alton Brown. He had a big picture of a tongue, and he's like, sweet salt. What parts, yeah.
Alton Brown is now a scientist?
No, but he is considered a food expert because of all his work on the Food Network and whatnot. And I believe he did go to school for this sort of thing, so he might be
okay. He might be a chef then.
I don't know. I don't know his full history, but I know he's really deep into the culinary history and sciences. Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay.
If you've ever watched his Good Eats show,
I have.
I love that show, and the fact that they're bringing it back just tickles me because I love that show.
Yeah, I learned a lot watching some of that stuff because I think he was talking about chocolate chip cookies one time, and he was talking about if you do the recipe in this specific thing, you can actually taste the difference of the ingredients. Like if you use too much shortening versus butter versus baking powder or whatever. And he goes, it changes the chemical structure of the cookie. And I went, I really did not put any thought into the chemical structure of a chocolate chip cookie.
The science of food and cooking is actually pretty amazing, and that's where you get those, what are they, like bistro pubs or something, like what they do like something like that. Yeah. Like I don't know the term, but it's where they like cook with like nitrogen and they use chemical reactions.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So that's all part and parcel to that.
Like fusion restaurants and
sort of fusion's more blending this with that, like blending Asian with Italian, that sort of thing. That's more fusion's all about.
But we have one fusion, air quote fusion restaurant in town. It's the Korean fusion. Yes. But they don't fuse their food with anything.
I honestly don't know. I've never really looked at their menu to know for sure, but I believe they are mixing more Korean with other Asian. A little bit?
Okay. We've gone a couple times. All they're doing is they're not combining it. They're just putting it on the menu.
Okay, then they're just using it as a name. It's not their practice then.
Yeah. So like they're not taking a Korean bulgogi or something like that and mashing it with sushi.
Yeah, that's not true fusion.
No.
True fusion, like I think we were watching like Carnival Eats or something. I think I was on this morning, and they took like basically what would normally be like a tortilla type thing, but they mashed it with something else and made this giant friggin' chicken sandwich.
Really?
But it had like a Mexican flavor to it, but it didn't look like anything Mexican you've ever seen. It was it was really weird.
Okay, that sounds delicious.
And it looked delicious, and it was huge. It was like the size of a football.
Oh crap!
It was huge. That's why I hate that Carnival Eats show.
I know
all that stuff is.
Well, the Food Network is a terrible channel to watch just because of the fact that like I'm now hungry 24/7 watching this show. And
welcome to my world, because that's all my wife watches.
And okay, well, she executes some of that stuff too,
a little bit.
So, well, I've seen some of the.
I haven't gotten a football size frigging chicken sandwich.
Okay, well, your football sized Panzerottis, those are something else.
Yeah,
too.
that's mine. That's my thing.
That's your thing. That's your jam. I'm
Yeah.
going to shut that off.
That's my jam. And that'll be a Whiskey Wednesday winter edition meal at some point.
Yeah, I remember you did that last year.
Yep.
Once last year, and it was just like, oh. Well,
it's very labor intensive.
Well, yeah. It said labor intensive trying to climb up those damn stairs afterwards, too. It was like, oh, so full, so fat.
Got to work off a little bit of those calories.
Okay, those 5 steps just ain't really going to do it.
Every little bit counts. According to Joe Rogan, every little bit counts.
You will have to do those, the roller coaster sidewalk run.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fantastic. It actually made the national news.
I know.
It's
been on Facebook multiple times, of course. It's been talked about on the radio, including Dave and Chuck the Freak out of Detroit, because anything weird in Chatham ends up in their hands. CBC News and other national news stations have picked it up. Yes. But nothing can be done about it until spring, at least, if anything. And I highly doubt anything gets done about it.
I think they talked about they had to do it that way because of the depth of the street or whatever, the retaining walls, and
it was going to be too cost intensive to do it properly with retaining walls and whatnot.
Yeah.
So what they did was the minimum required to meet provincial standards for angles and safe grading and all that. Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay. They were hired as the lowest bidder anyways.
Yes.
So it's not a surprise that corners have been cut.
Yep.
And
it's a friggin' mess. Like, okay, the snow is covered up, but they didn't do any proper seeding or anything for the grass to bring the grass back. Wow. Not to mention my cable, which is my primary internet and everything, everything in my
lifeline. It's your aorta.
Runs. It's sticking out of the ground from one corner of the front of the property to the other. There is one long cable sticking up, and the snow has to come down really deep to cover that. It's sticking up out of the ground. It's insane. And mine's not the only house like that.
Oh no, I've seen one walking to work one day. There's over on Pine Street over yonder. There's a cable box by the sidewalk, and the house is 20, 30 feet from the cable box. Mm-hmm. The cable is sitting on the grass.
Yeah, that's called a temporary line.
That's been there forever, dude.
Yes, because Cogeco takes forever to fix that stuff. You Scammy. You heard his story from his neighbor across the street. It took him 2 years to get a temporary line buried.
True.
That's Cogeco.
Wow, that's the only game in town, really.
Yep, they are the only cable game in town.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we don't have Rogers.
No,
we
because
don't have
Cogeco's here.
Else. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You will never find them in the same place.
No.
Because the infrastructure is theirs.
Yeah. Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, Cogeco owns the lines that service this area, so they're the only game in town. They service Windsor and Chatham, and then they have a few towns in northern Ontario.
Gotcha.
As soon as you get past outside of Chatham-Kent, you're into Rogers territory. If cable's available, it's Rogers.
Yeah. Man, well, we said Bell's been going around digging up everybody's putting fiber in.
Yep, and that's going to be super expensive. Mm-hmm. Oh, you'll get a great deal for the first year, and here, sign a 3-year contract, and then it's going to be triple the price.
I've been avoiding every single phone call from Bell Canada because I know every one of them is like, we would like to install fiber on your property. And we're like, no.
Here's a funny story. So they've been installing fiber optic in Chatham now for 6 to 9 months. Yes. Okay, roughly.
Feels like years.
But it's only been 6 to 9 months. Yeah. Okay. I had a salesman come to my door 3 years ago at least.
For fiber?
Offering me Bell fiber optic service. And at the time, I was curious, so I asked questions, and he gave me the pamphlet. He gave me the website information. I said, great, I want to look it over, do a little bit of research and whatnot. Yeah. And he said, just call this number, and if you want to go with it. Okay, great. So I did my research. The next day, I decided, I'm going to call.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have fiber optic service available in your area. Then why are you trying to fucking sell it to me? Why do you have somebody walking in my neighborhood that doesn't have the service available?
Because they're trying to find out if there's enough interest to warrant the cost.
Well, it took them 3 years to finally put lines in, and they haven't come down our street yet.
Well, no. They haven't touched my
they're started on the north side of town. And
No. Because...
is there some going on there? Because I've only ever seen it over on the north side. Like
it's all over
Bellamy's area that way.
Nope. We said at the end of Tweedsmuir here.
Okay.
They dug up all that.
Wow.
At the other end of Tweedsmuir, they dug up all that.
They just didn't do the middle of Tweedsmuir.
No, they just haven't done this part. Because I think a lot of this, because it's both sides of the street houses, and this
is just one side because of the businesses and whatnot. Okay, and the park. And
so I think they're really avoiding this part of town.
Well,
so far,
personally, and yes, okay, I kind of have a stake in this. Hold off because somebody else is installing fiber in the area in Chatham.
Who?
Local boys.
Who?
Okay, tech savvy.
I know those guys.
Yeah.
I give them money.
I know.
Yeah.
For your cable internet, but we are installing our own fiber optic network in Chatham. They have an agreement with one of the local utilities plus the city. That the grand scheme, and I don't know the time frame on this, they are looking to have fiber optic service installed to the entire municipality.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
I know. I know there's a lot of cities in the States, smaller towns, are doing that, building their own internet infrastructure to counteract the astronomical prices that the big companies charge.
Yeah, but the States doesn't have it nearly as bad as us. Canada has the highest rates for internet and cell phones
and hydro.
I'm not sure how hydro stands, but I know for a fact that Canada has the highest rates for internet and cell phone rates in the world. I'm not sure if we're number one, but if we're not number one, we're a close number 2, 3.
I know. I was talking to Dave Montoya about. I think I was talking about. I went over my data the one time. Mm-hmm. He goes, "How do you go over your data when you have unlimited data?" We don't have unlimited data.
No, unlimited cell phone data is only a recent thing because the government mandated it.
Well, yeah, and they said it's not even really unlimited because you hit a benchmark and you get throttled.
I know. And we just recently upgraded our cell phone plan to what's unlimited, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And that's what they told me, but I'm not worried about it.
Who are you with?
Rogers.
Rogers?
Yep.
Okay. What's that package like? Okay. that good, huh? Oh, really?
Well, we have 4 phones on there because we're covering 2 of our children.
Yeah.
With that, and so with the unlimited, even though we don't do a lot of calls, the call and all that stuff.
It's internet. It's data.
Yeah. The data is the biggest thing, of course. Yeah. So,
what? Do you get throttled too?
We just switched to that plan, so it hasn't come up yet. Like I literally switched like a month ago.
Did they tell you if there's
They told me that's what would happen if
cap.
Like we're on like a 10 gig for each of us.
Oh, okay.
So if one of us goes over 10 gigs, then they're going to get throttled. Kind of thing. That's how they explain it.
So it's not 10 across the board. Each phone has
No, we switched
10.
from a plan that was like that 10 shared kind of thing to 10 each. And then throttling, you're still accessed, but you're throttled after that. Yeah. So, and I'm not worried about it. we're always on Wi-Fi at home. I have Wi-Fi at work in the lunchroom and stuff, but I never go on there very often at work.
I ran into my data cap a couple months back. It was because I was talking to Steph and Dave, and we kept exchanging YouTube videos.
Okay.
And me not thinking, just like, this stuff racks up data in a huge hurry because I don't have Wi-Fi at my work.
Right.
And
factories usually don't because there's too much. It'd be too difficult with all the machinery and whatnot. Interference would be crazy.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where just like I get the notification, you're over and you're not allowed to talk anymore until the next cycle starts. I went, well, damn it.
We had that happen a few times a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Primarily because my daughter would forget to make sure she was on Wi-Fi.
Oh!
And particularly, and this happened twice because she got a new phone and then something happened. She had to get another phone like a year and a half later or something happened. And re-downloading all her apps and everything, and she wasn't on Wi-Fi when she did it.
No.
So yeah, she got a talking to.
Well,
she's a lot better now.
I would imagine. Well, I remember the one time we live streamed a Madhouse episode, and I had turned off my Wi-Fi when I went to work.
Okay,
and then
you didn't realize
I
you weren't.
forgot to turn Wi-Fi back on, and I live streamed that show over data, and it was just like the next day I went, "You're over." I went, "How's it?" I went, "Oh yeah."
That's straight out of a commercial for one of those companies.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the girl gets the unexpected bill. How did I go over? And then it's flashing to her at a concert. I'm live streaming the whole thing.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So I know that pain. I did that a couple times before I got unlimited in the house over with Tech Savvy. Said I was getting these bills, especially when I was with Bell. I had a DSL line, and I kept going over. This is back when I was playing WoW a lot, and it was just like I get these bills, and I'm going like, "What? This is nuts! This is just I have to find an unlimited package." And I think were you on it before you got the job or
Tech Savvy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been a customer of Tech Savvy long before I joined the company.
Okay, so I learned about the unlimited package. I think you told me about it, and I went, "Oh yeah."
Because it was only like $5 difference for the package you were on at the time, or something like that.
Yeah. So I went, okay, I got to make the switch, and I told Bell to hit the bricks, and I got a cable package and unlimited, and I've never looked back, and it's the best thing I've ever done.
At this day and age, you can't live without unlimited.
No.
Particularly if you're doing anything streaming.
Yes.
Because that will chew through that bandwidth so quick.
Everything in this house is streaming now because Parker's always playing League of Legends or something like that. All the TVs are hooked up with Fire TV sticks, and it's all streaming. We don't have a cable
Neither do we.
connection in this house. So when I look at the thing that tells me how many devices are attached or hooked up to my network, I'm just like, oh, it's only 12 now.
Yeah.
So
I stopped doing that.
Yeah, well,
I can't keep track of them all.
I look at it and I went 12. All right, and I'm thinking I'm breaking down exactly what's going on.
We got 5 cell phones in the house at least. We got multiple iPads, a couple laptops, and then 3 desktop computers, and plus PS3, Xbox, PS4 upstairs in the landlord's room.
Yeah,
a couple Android boxes, a Roku box. Yeah, it adds up.
It just like going through. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna have to take stock of what I can take off of this.
Oh, I've had to walk customers through trying to figure out who's using their internet. Because they found out that like a neighbor got their Wi-Fi password or something like that. And so we had to go through the steps on how to determine what's yours. Like you have to check your device, get the IP address of the device, and then you can go on your router settings and you can see it.
Just start nuking stuff.
I gave this one guy in particular, he gave him all the instructions, and when I checked in with him 2 days later, he found out that there were 2 devices that he could not determine at all in his house that were connecting to his Wi-Fi.
Somebody else.
And so because he's kept a screenshot of it, then changed all his Wi-Fi information. Gone.
Shifty bastards.
Yeah, that's why they do recommend. Most people don't, but they do recommend changing your Wi-Fi password every month or so, just to avoid that sort of thing. If you're worried about it, I'm not. So.
The neighborhood that I live in, like maybe every once in a while, depends on which way the wind's blowing, I'll catch one of the businesses. Wi-Fi signal, like when I hook up my iPad or something like that.
I only see, I think, 2 neighbors' Wi-Fi's, and I'm not even sure where exactly they are. So
a friend of mine, she was very computer savvy, and she built a router, and she goes, whatever she did, this thing was like the mother of all routers because it was her neighbors were complaining that her Wi-Fi signal was
stronger than
theirs. And all their stuff was trying to hook into her Wi-Fi signal. So she actually had to make hers an invisible.
She had to hide the network.
She hid the network to make sure the neighbors could actually log on to their stuff.
Wow.
And I was like,
damn.
That sounds like some great coverage.
That's a powerful Wi-Fi. I get pretty good range on mine.
Well, so, I put these.
But I just bought a brand new one back at like Boxing Day last year.
Yeah.
And it's a slightly higher model than what I've used to before. So
modem or router?
Router.
Because I got the Velop routers. Okay. They're like little white tower kind of things.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you can put them around the house. And they work great.
Is that might be called a mesh system, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And like I said, the parent unit is down here. It's sitting right on top of the modem. And there's one in the living room, and there's one near the back bedrooms.
I've heard good things about those mesh systems.
Yeah, it works fantastically. And they said, all you do, you plug it in. And I said, I had it set up on my iPad where you just had to kind of... Like, you plug it in, and it said, is the light purple? You went, yes. And it goes, okay, put the iPad down and take off for a couple minutes. We'll take care of the rest. Come back when you think we're done. And I come back and said, you're all hooked up. Way to go. I went, I like the ease of way.
A lot of them. There's a lot of them that are getting that easy now.
Yeah.
Or if there is steps you have to go through, they're really quick and easy setup wizards and stuff.
Well, that's what I had to do with the one when I moved one. I had to delete it out of the system and then re-add it. So basically, when you move these things get really weird. So
what I get a kick out of is, so when you call us for tech support help, okay, we're not computer experts.
No.
Okay, we have tools that, and I've been doing it long enough that I know all the key questions. I know a lot to look for. I don't have to use a lot of these helpful tools anymore because I've just picked it up. But once you get past what I know, I need that extra help, or it's just beyond our knowledge base. You get a customer who calls in and, right off the bat, they start the call with, I'm a computer tech. Like, okay, all right, then why are you calling me for help? If you
Not that good of a computer
and then he
tech.
starts going on, they have Ethernet switches involved, and then some sort of proprietary VPN router set up, and it's not working right, and he wants us to help him fix it.
Well, unplug all the shit.
So the extent of the help I can do in that situation, bypass all of it, connect directly from your modem to your computer, run the test. If the test runs fine, the problem is with your network setup, and I can't help you. It's beyond me.
Yeah.
Because we're not responsible for Wi-Fi.
You don't know what this dude's got hooked up into. So
no, you will never find, there is no internet company out there unless they specifically say so, and this is extremely rare. No internet provider company will help you with Wi-Fi problems. Because there's too many outlying factors, outside interference, and device inconsistencies and stuff like that.
So you're basically from the pole to the modem.
Yep. And if the proper service is coming through the modem directly, it's beyond us. Now, we will help with basic router setup and whatnot. We have that stuff.
Yep.
But as soon as you get into Ethernet switches and VPN networks and all that crap, no, we're out.
You've really changed the game right there.
I'm telling you, I've had a few of those, and they're never happy with that answer. But we're not computer experts.
No.
Our company name is Tech Savvy, but we're not all tech savvy.
We got the other smart guys made the script for me to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got you. Well, actually, I'm thinking about. I think you're talking about my modem is way out.
You're using a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But they were made to last back then, obviously since it's still working.
Well, that's the original one that I was given when I first signed up, and that was years ago.
If it's still working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that's something to consider. If you do start having issues, that's one of the first things you probably look at.
Yeah. When I switched out the router, it was just like an old fucking Netgear, whatever, like just a router. And when I switched that, when that finally was just like, this is not tenable anymore, when my daughter was working at Best Buy, she goes, this is what one of their techs got. And it was this Velop mesh system.
More and more people are going to those because they are so reliable.
Yeah.
Because one of the factors that can interfere with Wi-Fi, and a lot of people don't realize, is just your home construction.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're in an older home, you don't know the wiring may not be properly shielded anymore because it deteriorates. Just the construction. If it's plaster walls, there's usually a metal mesh in there that turns it into a Faraday cage,
and you're screwed.
Or if you're into a building that was converted from like office to residential, that's cinder block walls. That's always not helpful.
Or you got the steel I-beam in between.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So the mesh systems, because it basically brings dedicated Wi-Fi to each room wherever this module is, that they're becoming more and more popular.
Yeah. Like I said, it works fantastically well. And I think the boy has got an Ethernet wire running from the main base in the basement. He's fished the wire through ducts and stuff like this. So he's got an Ethernet connection to his...
A wired connection is always best, particularly for gaming.
Yeah. So like he tried that with the first node that he had, and it just wasn't working.
Tend to get a little bit more latency over Wi-Fi. So if you're trying to do any hardcore gaming, you want to have a wired connection whenever possible.
He's got that. I'm thinking actually now about hooking my PS4 if there's an Ethernet connection in that.
There is. Should be.
I don't know. I'll check it.
I highly doubt they're Wi-Fi only. I highly doubt that.
Yeah. I said I'm thinking about running one yet. Over. So I know.
I'll have mine in 4.5 months, hopefully.
I got that one off a child.
My goal is to have one by March.
Oh, that's when that game comes out.
That's when Cyberpunk 2079 comes out, and I am so excited for that.
That's one of the games I'm kind of looking forward to.
It's because that's checking the nostalgia box.
Yeah,
over and over again. Nostalgia is huge for me. That's why I'm loving Disney Plus, and the fact that they've made a Cyberpunk video game.
Yep,
it's continuing from the RPG that I know and love.
I know that game too.
And I'm so excited for it. And it's who's making it too. The people responsible for one of the hottest games ever made for PS4, Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Is the same group.
Beautiful.
So they're going to crush it.
Well, I don't remember. You sent me the link to the teaser trailer when it first came out. And I was like, I got to get me a PS4.
Oh, I saw images in there that were straight out of the book, like the covers of the Chromebooks, all the cybernetics. I saw those covers as billboards in the game. I know I
Beautiful.
Did. And yes. And then, of course, you got Keanu.
Yeah, well, yeah. Keanu. That's always a bonus right there. But, no, that game, speaking of, like I said, playing Battlefield 1 right now is what is my obsession. And I'm fucking terrible at first-person shooters.
Me too.
And I'm just... I've rage quit so many times, but I have yet to throw a controller or kick over a TV or anything like this. Parker came down the one day, I'm playing, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm playing Battlefield 1. He goes, "Can I try?" All right, here. So I handed him the controller, like ding, ding, ding. He's just waxing people up. I'm going, get out of here. Just get out of here.
Yeah, it's like, remember the days when we used to be able to beat our kids in video games? Or you let them win?
Yep. Remember the days when we were cool?
Yep. No, I was never cool.
It's one of those. I miss arcades.
There is... Where did I just hear that there's one that's not far from here? I can't remember.
Real arcade?
Yeah. Like an old school arcade.
Really?
Within driving distance.
Really?
Yes, but I can't remember where it was now. I think it was on my Facebook, so if I dig through from my Facebook from about a week ago, I'd probably find it.
You should find that.
But yeah, it was like an old school arcade.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think you go in and you pay like $20 and it's just free play for like an hour or whatever it is, or 2 hours, whatever it is.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
We went to the Rec Room in London. That facility in one of the malls. Well, I think it was not Westmount Mall. one of the malls in London. It's a rec room. Basically, it's like an arcade, but it's like ticket arcade game kind of things.
Yep.
I think there's like axe throwing. There's a restaurant bar with even a small concert area. When we were there, when Mags and I were there, they said, "Oh yeah, you guys stick around later. We're having a breakdancing competition." I went, "That's right up my alley. See you later." So, but it's just like one of those one-stop things, like entertainment complexes, and I think what else is there? Like VR rooms, and
that's all the rage now. And there's one coming to Chatham.
Yep. I think I know somebody involved in that.
But I'll be checking it out.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to experience it yet.
The new laser tag.
Yeah, that place is getting a lot of buzz.
I never expected it to. And they said
I didn't even know about it. And then somebody posted, "Hey, I took my kid to that new laser tag place." I'm like, "Oh, there's a laser tag place?"
Yeah. Like I said, I know that where it is, and it didn't seem like it's a very big spot.
I don't know.
But they cleared everything out.
Okay.
So that kind of leaves it like just a giant empty space to run around in.
Years and years ago, I worked at the National Grocers Warehouse here in town. Yep. Okay, so we had the rows and rows of the racking and whatnot, and I had this, like, get bored, the brain gets spinning, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, if I won like huge lottery, I'd take a warehouse like this and make that racking, but have it structured so that it would be like climbable, like stairs and ladders, and make it like a really wicked indoor paintball thing.
That would be cool.
That would be like, it could be pretty awesome.
Have you ever gone to the laser tag in London?
No.
Oh, dude.
I haven't played laser tag since the Wild Zone here in Chatham.
Oh shit! That's wow. Okay. Okay. The laser tag in London, 3 stories.
Whoa.
And there's certain spots where you can shoot from one end to the other end.
Oh, wow.
And I said, we took the kids there a couple times. I think it was with Bellamy and the Cubs. That was how I discovered it. And then just lighting up Cubs. It was awesome.
It's like fish in a barrel.
Fish in a barrel. The kids were like, "Hey, what's going on?" Zap. And we took our kids a couple times, and then I think I've gone with a couple other friends a couple times just to play. And 3 stories. 3 stories. It's huge.
Wow.
Huge. Like right downtown London. When we went to go see John 5.
Okay.
That parking lot that we parked in,
it
was right in front of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like right in that area.
Okay.
So it's a hoot. He said you run around. He said I got a nice little. I found a spot, and that was my go-to spot. And there was one of the times I was slow getting there, and there was a kid kind of standing there. I was like, "Get the fuck out of my spot!" So, but zap, shut up.
I don't care if you're on my team. Zap.
Right, yeah. I butt stroked him. Then I hit him. I had the bayonet put on my laser gun, so I stabbed him a couple times. Laser tag's a very serious game.
Apparently.
No, I don't. Okay. I didn't butt stroke the kid, and I didn't stab him with a bayonet.
Just to be
figuratively.
Okay,
I imagined that I did. How's that?
All right, that's good. No. I think you've covered the bases.
I'm not liable anymore.
No.
What else is new?
Well, Disney Plus.
How's that going?
I love it.
Did you watch Mandalorian?
I've watched the first episode.
What'd you think?
I'm in. I'm in full tilt. I was in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Because just the look of it, the sound of it, and then you start seeing, oh, hey, I remember seeing those. Oh, we're seeing the old familiars.
Yes.
But in different ways.
Yep. John Favreau is involved.
He's I think, directing.
Yeah. So that, to me, when I saw Favreau attached to it, I went, okay, here's a dude that gets what it's supposed to be.
He's a fanboy.
Yeah. And his vision for The Mandalorian is stunning.
That's what I mean. Like the look of it, it looks like a Star Wars movie. Like, it doesn't look like a TV show. It looks like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, the way it's shot, the way it's set up, so good.
Yep.
And it's hitting. I think it's in canon.
It is.
It is canon.
I'm quite sure that it is considered part of canon. Because anything made now is all canon.
Oh, okay.
So what references, what links will we see? Who knows, right? But
hard
references, slight references here and there.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
All I know is I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Every aspect of it. I had to look up because I was curious by the voice, because of course we only see the voice or only hear the voice, right? Who is that guy?
I never bothered to check.
Oberyn Martell from Game of Thrones.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect.
He was also in Kingsman's Golden Circle.
Yes, he was the guy from the.
He was Whiskey.
The Statesman guy.
Yep.
Yep. Oh,
yeah. The Whiskey, the one that goes bad.
Yeah, that's a fantastic.
Spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Kingsman Golden Circle yet, that's a good pull. He's good.
Yep.
That's a good idea. The what did you think of the adorable overload at the end of that?
Wow, that looked pretty damn cute.
Yep. Just wait until you get to the second episode.
I'll be, if I don't get to watch it tonight when I go home, I'll be watching it tomorrow for sure. So
okay, you'll let me know what you think, because
I'm expecting a whole lot of cuteness.
Dude, like I was telling Mags, I go, he's so adorable. Oh, I'm sure he's totally I'm sure. Get here, look, and I pulled it up and I look. Yes, he's adorable. Don't you mock me. But yeah, that the baby Yoda, for a lack
in her defense, just got to point this out. It's coming from you. The words adorable only comes out of you, usually out of sarcasm.
Me saying something is adorable should have so much weight behind it.
It does, because like I just said, usually you're using it sarcastically.
Not sarcastic.
You say something to me like, "Oh, you're adorable," because I said something stupid or whatever, you know. So
that's sarcasm.
See?
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying, there's a little character. He's captured my cold flint heart. I know. It's just like, look at him. So cute. I love him already.
Is it because he's in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Is that
it doesn't hurt. Okay. When we were first introduced to Yoda in Empire, fucking I'm just like, oh, look at that. He's cute, but he's 800 years old. Mm-hmm. And this one's 50.
Yep. He's still a baby.
He's so cute.
Just want to squeeze the cheekies.
Pick him up, hug him, and squeeze him.
Hug him and squeeze him and love him all to pieces.
Call him George. Awesome. No, but yeah, Disney Plus has been on heavy rotation in this house. I think the very first thing I did watch was Mandalorian, and then somebody goes, "Oh, I thought it was going to be Steamboat Willie." I was like, that was kind of like second on the list. So
I haven't watched that. The first thing we watched was Pixar in Real Life. Mm-hmm. Which they've only done the one episode so far, but there's a trailer that shows there's a lot more coming.
Okay.
Pixar in Real Life is essentially like a
prank show?
Kind of like a prank show, kind of. Okay. Basically, they're taking things from Pixar movies, but bringing them into the real world.
Okay.
And they look fantastic. So the first episode is this, they got the control panel from Inside Out sitting in this park.
Yep.
And people are like, oh, this looks cool. And they're coming over and flipping things. Well, then all of a sudden these two people are walking by and they put somebody at the panel pushes like one of the emotion buttons and these people start having a conversation. And that emotion comes out. So, like, if you hit anger, they start arguing.
Oh,
you
really?
hit sadness, they start bawling. Like, and so they have these actors coming in, and they have different pairs coming in for different people controlling. So you're not gonna, like, if you're around there, you're not gonna know.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Okay.
But I've seen in the trailer they've got a Wall-E wandering down a street in like New York or something. They've got the little chubby scout kid from Up.
Okay,
Interacting with people somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's been enough kids doing cosplay with the little chubby scout where they went, okay, you're taking the cosplay kid out of a Comic-Con and putting him injecting him into the real world. You're going to get some great reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially if he has the old man with him.
In the trailer, you only see him for a few seconds, and I just saw the kid, but I don't know. You never know.
Oh, that would be awesome.
But Pixar, there's a lot to pull from Pixar,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of places they can go with it.
Yep.
So that's a lot of fun. They have another show called Encore, which really hits home for me because it's about musicals.
Theater kid.
Theaters, yes.
Yep.
So what it is they've found this group, and apparently they did like a pilot episode a couple years ago on TV. But they found a group that they performed in high school. They performed Annie in 1996. They gathered the main cast back up again all these years later to do it again on 5 days preparation.
Ooh, really?
Some of them haven't seen each other since high school, and there was some, not animosity, but like
Friction?
not quite friction, but like unresolved things.
High school
a little bit of that. Maybe some like lost love kind of situation, a little bit between a couple of them, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
The former best friends that just separated entirely in all these years and stuff. It was so.
That was high school.
Yep.
Okay, so
But then there was the one guy who played Daddy Warbucks. He had cancer when he was in school. Like, they all knew this.
Shit.
He was going through cancer while doing this show.
So he was typecast because he was bald.
No, he wasn't yet though. And being totally bald was a thing for him. He was already mostly bald, but he kept it like a little bit of stubble.
Yep.
And he's a cop. He's
okay.
cancer free now, I guess.
Yep.
But he kept a little bit of stubble while they wanted him to go totally. And he freaked out.
Really?
But he pushed through it and he did it.
Oh,
like
okay.
He
Good
sat
for
and
him.
talked with his wife on the phone and like talked about it, like what it means to him, because it's because that meant a lot to him. Even that little bit, he's got something there, right?
Yeah.
Taking it all off, to him, it's like, oh, there's the cancer again, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So
Too much flashback.
that brought some really interesting emotion to the whole thing, but just I could feel for those people.
Yeah.
You know, it was 20 years from when I was in high school to when I went back on the stage again. 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I know exactly the feelings they're getting. You know, I used to do this. I haven't done this in so long. Here I am doing it again. I know what they're feeling.
How was that first step out onto the stage again? Looking out into the, like, not even, no crowds, no nothing. When you,
I held my breath.
Walked in.
I held my breath.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just,
You mean like, okay, the first performance you mean?
no.
Like the audition?
When you finally decided, I'm going to do it, and you went to the audition, and you walk out on stage.
No, the first show was not a full theater production. It was a review show. It was Disney Spectacular,
Yeah.
so it was performing specific songs, but there's no story, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit different with that type of show, but still same vein. The audition process itself was nerve-wracking.
Okay.
Because I'd never been through anything like that before. Like when I was in high school, the audition was really quick and generally.
You want to be in theater?
Kind of, sort of.
Welcome, brother.
So doing this Disney, I went in, I sang Bare Necessities
Yep.
from Jungle Book. And I did my best. I worked hard to try and to pull it off. Of course, they picked me. They did pick me for the show, but in all honesty, they were taking every guy they could get because guys were in short supply. So I was going to get in no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, I know this. I resigned myself to it, but that was the first step. Then going to the first rehearsal.
Okay.
Now I'm going there. Now, Xander was in the show too, so he was kind of a bit of a buffer for me. He introduced me to a few of the people. Some I knew a little bit from because he worked with them in school and stuff, but most of them, this is all new to me. Then I started to feel like, okay, I'm the I'm one of the oldest people here.
Yep.
I'm older than the director. I'm pretty sure I'm older than the director of this show.
Yeah.
There was only one person older than me, and that was this gentleman, John. John G. He's another bass, just like me.
Yep.
We were the old guys. So that was awkward and took a little bit of time to really work through. But by the end of that show, I felt, and I know this gets thrown around a lot, I felt like I was part of the family. Like, these kids really embrace people. I get it if somebody was throwing attitude and whatnot, but I haven't yet to really see that. I've seen a little bits here and there, but I've never really seen anybody throwing any sort of diva attitude or anything like that. And they just accepted, welcome, come on in. And they're helping, they're, making you at ease. I felt like I gained another child during that show for a brief time, because I got really close with this one guy, Drew.
Yep.
Have a great picture of me, Drew, and Xander all side by side during one of our rehearsals, and it's on my wall because I just love that picture, because that was my first show back, and Drew really really helped me. Made me comfortable.
Did he show you the ropes kind of thing?
No, not exactly showing the ropes, but just making you feel comfortable, talking and joking and including,
human connection.
Yeah, because they had some of their own little inside jokes a little bit here and there, and so I got brought into that. So there's these little things, and a couple of those little inside jokes still creep up once in a while.
The dab.
The dab actually wasn't from Drew. That was from somebody else, Franklin. He's Dab Master Frank for a reason.
Okay.
And a couple of us still keep the dab alive. Just saying.
No matter how many times you've been warned not to do it?
Yep. I did not do it with Little Shop of Horrors. I refrained.
What?
I refrained from Little Shop of Horrors.
You didn't even throw a little...
I see in every other show, I did it during my bow. I did not do it this time.
You didn't get a bow? Or?
No. We had our group ensemble bow, and I would normally have slapped the dab, but I didn't. I don't know why.
You've matured out of it.
Maybe, I don't want to say that, because I'll still throw a dab left and right when the moment calls for it. So, keep the dab alive. Damn it.
No.
Just other little jokes, and for these kids, just brought me in. Now, at times, I do feel like a dirty old man, because some of these girls are rather easy on the eyes, and
theater kids.
Some of them are a little older than that, though.
Oh, well,
so it's less inappropriate. But
I was a theater kid too, so I get what you're saying, because I remember I did 3 years of drama club or drama in high school. Oh yeah,
I had no idea, dude. You've never ever mentioned that.
Oh no,
no,
probably.
Well, McGregor didn't have much in the way of drama, from what I understood.
Yeah. Really? We had Jim Gilbert was our drama teacher. He's the one of the Chatham historian guys. He did a lot of the recreating. Him and his wife did a lot of the recreation of Chatham history through characters and stuff like this.
You never heard about McGregor back in the day, because we were in high school roughly the same time. Yeah. You might be a year ahead of me or whatever, but roughly the same time. McGregor didn't do like a musical.
No, but
they didn't do shows like that.
No, we did.
I think they tried to 1 year while I was still there, but I don't think it went well.
No, we did a murder mystery dinner theater one time. Which was fantastic.
Did you ever do Sears drama?
I never did, but McGregor always had somebody. I think we ended up winning one or two.
Yes, I do remember. There was something about, I think they might have been on a train or something. I remember their set involved boxes like in like a warehouse or on a storage car or something. Yeah, I can remember that, because I remember
they did do Sears.
I remember McGregor winning it, and like even our group said they absolutely deserved it. Like they gave them full props. So what they pulled off was amazing. So
yeah, like I said, it was one of those things when getting into that class, just like a regular class, was one of those. I think I started when I was in grade 10. Yeah, grade 10 was my first drama class, and I was like, is it like easy?
I feel like CK didn't even have it in grade 10.
Yeah.
Drama wasn't available, I think, until grade 11.
Really?
At CK. I could be wrong, but I feel like grade 11 was my first drama class.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, to me, I thought it was like, this would be easy, like easy mark, pad the grade point average and stuff like this. And then I got in there and went, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
So
that's how they get you.
Yeah. So we got in there, like basically it was a lot of improv on the stage in the class and working with like different groups. And different
I'm not very good at improv. I admit that. I'm not quick enough to do it. I can have my moments and all, but I'm not quick enough to fully be a part of like an improv group. I can't do it.
Well, like it. Maybe it was one of those things where I was projecting what I wanted to do because there's really no reason why I was going to take drama, and then I get into wrestling and the idea of drama paid off.
Yep.
And I remember
because wrestling is just aggressive theater.
That's a way to put it. That's a good way to put it. I remember reading an interview with Kurt Angle, and he was talking about was doing a talk at a high school, and one of the drama kids come up and was talking to him, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm getting bullied. What can I do?" And the Angle goes, "Who's doing it?" And the kid points out the bully, and Angle and the drama kid go over to the kid. And they start having a conversation. And Angle looks at the kid, goes, Why are you bullying this guy? Well, he's not cool. He's a drama club. And like this, Angle looks at him and goes, I wish I had taken drama back in high school. This guy goes, what? He goes, athletics is one thing. That's a physical. If you have the physical gifts, athletics is easy. Drama is so mentally taxing. Mm-hmm. You have to have that the mental flexibility to be able to discard who you are and put on who you want to be and make that real. He goes, this guy is as much air quote as an athlete as you are on a football field kind of thing, but you are doing two different things. And Angle goes, because Angle got into pro wrestling too, he realized having a drama background would have helped him in, like, even if you don't get into athletics after drama, to me, it taught me lots of things, like being able to project, to stage presence, to be able to act to the back of the theater, that kind of thing. There's a lot of things that I see now where, especially going through drive-thrus and stuff like this. Nobody projects. Nobody talks. Nobody is big. You know what I mean?
Remember on the set of Sumac Ditch?
Yeah.
I was the camp loudspeaker.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where when I got into drama, I was able to discover parts of myself that I didn't know I had. Now, I wasn't going to take it any farther out of high school because I just didn't have that desire to go to Theater Kent, or the Theater Kent was basically the only game in town back in the day. And I just didn't think or feel that I had the chops to work at that level.
I had entertained the idea of auditioning for Theater Kent numerous times over the years, and I just never did it.
No?
I've never did it. The only reason I did what I did now is because the boys kind of inspired me to do that, right? So now I'm just waiting for the next opportunity, and if it's Theater Kent over Studio Black, so be it. I'm just looking for the next opportunity. Yeah. I went and saw Theater Kent's production of Mamma Mia today.
Oh, how was that?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
so well done. Today was the last show.
Oh, okay.
And everybody was fantastic. Their characters. Now, I've never actually seen the show before. I've never seen the movie.
Okay.
I just know it's based on ABBA music, and I know the general premise of the story. Now, I can admit that maybe a couple of people weren't the best singers. But you know what? For the characters and how they played, it didn't matter. The energy was there, and it was fantastic. Kind of makes me wish I would have went that route. For one particular moment.
Oh, yeah?
Because had I auditioned and been picked, I probably would have been involved in this one song and dance number, which would have been an opportunity to dance in flippers. That's on my theater bucket list that I didn't even know existed, but apparently I just seeing these guys they got flippers on, and like, oh, I could have done that.
That could have been me.
It could have been me.
Or when the stage adaptation of Tusk comes around, you could be.
Yeah, someday
you could be the walrus.
Someday. Yeah, we'll put that one on my list.
Absolutely.
I do have a list of, if this show comes around, I want to play this. I have a short list for that.
What's number one?
Number one, anything connected with Bat Out of Hell. The Meatloaf, based on the Meatloaf album. Yep. I'll take anything for that show for sure. Something tells me, and I don't know if I have the chops for this, but the character of Javert from Les Mis, the Russell Crowe in the movie.
That's a huge role.
It is.
That I know exactly, because I've listened to the Broadway version,
and I know it is. I don't know if I have the chops for it, but for some reason I feel like that's one I want to try to do.
It's a meaty role.
It is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So if you're gonna go, you may as well go big. That kind of thing.
For lesser known, Evil Dead the musical, there's a character named Good Old Reliable Jake.
Little reliable.
Good old. That's his song. I'm good old reliable Jake. Like, that's a role. That's the role that I think I could do. That one I have no doubt I could do. I know my limitations for my voice. I am a bass. That does hinder a lot of roles. Okay, yeah, because very few lead roles are going to be able to work in a bass.
Yeah.
I can go a little bit higher, but it really gets uncomfortable singing that high. Especially considering I'm not vocally trained in any way.
Yeah.
So
you're just an enthusiastic amateur.
Yeah.
So would it be tenor is the one that...
Tenor's the most common.
That's the one they
Tenor's
want?
most common. Baritones can pull off a lot too.
Okay.
But tenors generally most male leads end up being tenors.
Okay.
And that's where Xander sits.
I was going to say
Xander's pure tenor.
Yeah.
His range is amazing. So I don't know if you've seen the YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel now.
I did see that. I have not clicked on that.
Well, he got inspired from a friend of his. She started posting her stuff, so old videos to now, so you can see the progression. And that's what he's doing with this YouTube channel. Is he's gathering up any videos of his past performances so that you can see progression from then to now.
Yeah. Is he recording his?
He's recorded some of his masterclass stuff lately. So
okay.
Yeah. So, and if you go back to some of the older ones, you'll definitely see the differences.
Oh, okay.
And he was already great. And it's just getting more polished, and the tone is getting smoother, and he's always going to have that one key emotional factor. Like when he sings a song, you feel it. Okay. That's hard to find in a good performer.
Yeah, so university has done him wonders then.
He had that from the get-go.
But
the university stuff is really fleshing out his tone, giving him a broader range for style, because he can sing, even though he doesn't know what he's singing, he can sing in German and Italian. He's sang songs in those, and they sound great.
Sings it phonetically.
Yeah. He goes through, he does his rehearsals, and he has, most of the books have like translations and whatnot, so he knows the premise of what's going on, but he can't read. He actually dropped his German class because he just couldn't learn a new language. It just wasn't taking.
Wow.
He could.
I would think they talk about learning a language with music is way easier. For some reason,
he just wasn't getting it. It just wasn't working for him.
Okay.
But he can sing that stuff, and he sings it well. So And I just love looking at his old videos to now, and I really see the differences, and he's all right. I personally, and I tend to be drawn to more silly and fun stuff when it comes to musicals and whatnot. That's more what I get drawn to. So when he does a silly, fun song, I smile from ear to ear. And he's done multiple. He's got one of the best ones he's done, and the video is on his YouTube channel. It's called Adolfo. It's from a play called The Drowsy Chaperone.
Okay.
And Adolfo is this like Italian ladies' man.
All right.
And he's all about the ladies, and the ladies will remember Adolfo. And the whole song is just talking about himself. But then he spells out his name, and he does it, and it's hilarious. It's when he does that kind of stuff, he's got the big smile, and you can't help but smile. Like,
he injects the emotion into.
Oh, he's made me cry on many occasions. And I'm not the only one. I've seen him perform certain really somber and emotional songs. Yeah. Not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The kid wears his heart on his sleeve.
So he's got a future in the singing business.
I would think so. We're hoping so. It's a tough road. That scares the hell out of us.
Yeah. AC/DC sang a song about that.
Yep.
It was a long way to the top. So,
yep. But he's got the chops. He's got the tools. Let's just hope that the opportunities come his way. And I have no doubt that they will. In some way, shape, or form, that kid will be on a stage somewhere. His name will be on a marquee someday.
I hope to see that. So that's very cool.
Well, for his first show on Broadway, I'll make sure to bring you along.
There you go.
So we're going to make a big trip of it. So.
All right.
We'll bring a whole busload from Chatham.
Bus. Jet.
Private jet?
Private jet.
I don't think Broadway actors make that much money.
Bus it is.
Uber.
Oh, you might want to get a jet. I couldn't imagine what an Uber would
cool.
Maybe. Uber bus?
Uber bus. That's got to exist, right?
I'm sure there is.
If not, it will by then.
Oh, yeah. A couple of years. Sure.
Yeah. This has been one weird episode, dude.
Nah, it's fine.
Just fine. What I was expecting to be talking about.
That's the.
We started somehow. Because I was talking about that Encore show on Disney Plus. Yes. That's what led to this.
Yeah, we started off at Disney Plus.
Yep.
A cute, adorable baby Yoda.
Yep. Then I started talking about Encore, the musical theater, and that led us down that road.
Then it became the drama kids and theater kids showed up and just took over for an hour.
Yep. Oh, we watched. We had to revisit James and the Giant Peach.
I haven't watched that one. That so long.
Exactly. It'd been so long for us. Yeah. God damn it. That movie I love that movie, and it's one of the first ones like that. Yeah. Like that stop motion. Yep. It's one of the first.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually what's funny is at one point in the movie, the centipede goes underwater. There's sunken ships, and he's trying to find a compass.
Yep.
So he goes to a pirate ship. Well, there's a pirate skeleton holding a compass, and I'm like, when you see the skeleton, of course the skeleton comes alive, and it was the same head as Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. Really? It is the same head. Oh. Yes, I looked it up. It is the same head.
Nice.
Yeah. So neat little reference there.
The one thing I watched on Disney Plus, I started to watch because it was just like one of the somebody said something. Parker Carter said something, and it was like, ooh, Robin Hood, the animated Robin Hood. Oh, one of my favorite.
Robin Hood, Little John, up through the forest. Yeah,
that's the one. That's it. And that in the Rooster Bard at the the intro, and it's just like that ticks all the boxes for me. That's the great one for me. Yep. Jungle Book, I'm going to have to go back and watch Jungle Book just to listen to Bare Necessities. And because there's been a couple times where going on YouTube, I said, I'll just pull up that video and just watch the Bare Necessities one because it's such a great song. And I'm looking forward to going through a lot of everything that's on that Disney Plus.
You know what they have on there? And I will watch this eventually because I only vaguely remember it, but I know I liked it as a kid. That's the feeling I get. The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes. Kurt Russell's first film. I'm pretty sure it's his first. If not his first film, it's one of his first.
The Computer?
The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes.
I am completely unaware of it.
Really? Yeah, it's a live action movie where basically he gets a computer downloaded into his brain or something like that. I only vaguely remember it, but I know I'm quite sure. You know what? I'm checking. I'm pretty sure it's like Kurt Russell's like one of his first.
One of the ones that caught my attention in the animated one, the section, Spider-Man and the Super Friends.
Yeah.
Firestar and Iceman. I was like,
that's on there?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Yes, it is.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching the hell out of that. Gargoyles.
I will be checking that out.
Yep.
I'm watching. I started watching Recess because that was my kids love that show. Yep. I loved it more.
Well, the one that really caught Sean Brown's attention is every single episode of The Simpsons is on there as well.
Yeah, there is one main issue with that though. Every episode is being shown in widescreen format on there.
Okay.
But they weren't broadcast that way. No. So the aspect ratio is wrong and a lot of the screen is getting cut off. So a lot of the visual gags have been cut off.
Oh, really?
Because they didn't start broadcasting the show until season 20 in widescreen. So the first 19 seasons, the aspect ratio is wrong. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Huh. That was one of the first things I read after the first day.
Yep.
There was that, and a lot of people were kind of getting up in arms a little bit about the warning labels on some of the older films.
Yeah.
Warning: this film contains cultural depictions that may be offensive.
Yeah.
But they're being shown in their original as they were originally created. Yeah. Or warning: contains tobacco use because they smoke a pipe.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
No. But that's
they got to cover their bases. They have to cover their bases.
Yeah, this is the day and age that we live in now, where everything has to come with a warning label. It's fine. Like Steamboat Willie had one of those warnings on it because they talked about a cultural depiction. I didn't see. I'm not sure what they were referring to, but I watched the whole thing, and I didn't get what the problem was. Maybe I just am not, I don't know, woke enough to understand what the problem was, but I didn't see a problem. What you got?
I'm trying to find that. Okay, it was not his first movie, although it might have been one of his first starring roles, but I just noticed something really funny.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you remember Death Proof?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember he talks about the stuntman? He's stuntman Mike. Kurt Russell is stuntman Mike. Yeah. And he talks about a show called The Virginian.
Yes.
He was apparently in it. He was actually in 2 episodes of The Virginian, apparently.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great callback.
That is a great callback that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
Come on, where the hell is it? There it is. 1969. The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
I never even knew that existed.
At Medfield College, an accident with a donated computer gives Dexter Riley the ability to remember any knowledge learned instantly and perfectly.
Huh.
So it gives him an eidetic memory, basically?
That's it. He's Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah.
Minus the
social awkwardness.
Huh.
But yeah, I saw that on there. I'm like, oh my, wow, okay, yeah, I'll be going to there eventually. The fact that Disney Plus has a section that just says nostalgic films. Yeah. All right, I'm
in. I know. They said my Taryn got my login information, and she's been plowing through all the old movies too. So it's like Scamahorn was grinding my gears for. I'm just like, oh, whatever, dude. You watch these two, so don't.
Yeah, nice try.
Yeah, you
can talk a big game, but we know
just as guilty of watching these as I am.
If he isn't now, he will be because he's got grandkids.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that and Milena will probably be
no doubt.
making them watch some stuff.
Probably.
So,
Yep.
I'm fine with Jeff.
Yep.
So
Whatever.
Boomer. Okay, boomer.
The only thing I wish they had was the continue watching feature like Netflix and Crave have. Like, so when you start watching a show or something, it gives you that instant, okay, you want to go back to it. They don't have that. I'm hoping they'll institute that at some point.
But I've been kind of going through Endgame and breaking it up, and it always starts where
I did see that it does do that.
Yeah.
But like Recess isn't easily on like the main screen. I have to dig to find it.
There's now
I know there's probably a watch list or favorites button or something. So
when you go into that, there's that little plus symbol. I think if you slide over that and click on that goes into your favorites file.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they don't have that. They want you to just do a favorites thing.
Yeah,
but I just haven't delved that deeply for that part. But
again, this is just launched,
exactly, and that's a small nitpick.
Yep.
They have so much good going on with it. I think I pointed out to you last night, and you didn't realize it. If you click on a movie, you usually see an extras tab across the top, so we're getting some like DVD extras available.
I did that today when I fired up Endgame, and I did notice that there's that extras. So I went, oh, okay. So I clicked over that. The very first thing of the extras was the very first trailer for Endgame.
Oh,
so they have everything's there. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
So you get to get the full version of what they put out.
Yep.
But I did notice one thing.
Yep.
They have Endgame, but they don't have Infinity War.
That's because it's still
on Netflix.
Yeah, it's still some movies are still over there for a little bit longer, and there's 2 movies they aren't going to get.
Oh no,
Spider-Man.
No, Sony.
Homecoming and Far From Home will not be on Disney Plus.
But they'll most likely end up on
wherever Sony has their thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured that. Like, well, we got so much animated Spider-Man stuff on there. I was just like, holy, I did not realize how many different versions of the animated Spider-Man stuff that they put out.
Well, that's going to come up later.
Oh, I know.
Because Into the Spider-Verse 2 is in the works. And since they already referenced that a little bit at the end of the first one, we're going to get more of that.
Thank you.
Yes.
The one that I'm really interested in is Moon Knight, the live action Moon Knight when that comes out.
Yeah. And they said that they're saying that they're going to redo Luke Cage. They're probably going to recast for whatever reason, but they are going to do it again, and it will officially be part of MCU, as well as Iron Fist. Again, I think they're recasting. But what they're not, that is going to be included, is Daredevil.
Oh, that hurt. No.
Daredevil is apparently going to be brought back.
On Netflix?
No, Disney.
Ooh.
Like they're going to either do more or start it over again. But where it is, they're not going to recast Daredevil.
Good.
So
that's the best.
No word about Punisher yet because they're not doing anything R-rated. Disney Plus is PG-13 at best. So we don't know what they're going to do with anything else that goes higher than that.
Yeah, I was going to like, what about Deadpool?
Exactly. It's not there yet.
No.
But it's also still on Netflix. So, but yeah, there's no word what they're going to do.
There's outlets for it, but
yes,
Disney Plus can stay PG-13, and it's not going to be a big issue.
It's not going to hurt them in any way.
No. And then they said your Punisher and Deadpool, stuff like that. You can
because from what I understand, Bernthal's still connected to Punisher. He's not going anywhere anytime soon either.
I wouldn't.
No, absolutely not.
I would hang on to that as long as I could.
You don't want to lose Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. You don't want to lose Bernthal as Punisher. You don't want to lose Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock.
No.
Those ones, I guarantee you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to piss off a lot of fans.
Well, I was kind of pissed off when they canceled Luke Cage because I really dug the actor that played Luke Cage.
Yeah, I liked him too. So I don't fully get it, but I know it wasn't as popular, and there hasn't even been any whisper of Jessica Jones.
Oh,
I haven't even heard whispers of her name mentioned anywhere.
No, but
I honestly, I never watched her second season.
I never really got through the first season.
I only got through the first season because I'm a big David Tennant fan.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I pushed through it.
Yeah. Like it was a character that I never really cared about. Like even Iron Fist, Power Man, Jessica Jones, Misty Knight, like the Heroes for Hire groups.
I know who Iron Fist and Luke Cage were.
Yeah, I never really got too deep into them when I was in the comic books. They just never really did anything for me.
Me either. But I knew of Iron Fist and Luke Cage, and that was it. All the other ones were all new.
Yeah, when they did the Marvel Knights series comic books, and they put a harder edge on them, then it was kind of interesting. That got my like street level heroes. And I just like, okay, this is kind of cool. And like the Marvel Knights and the Marvel Max series were a little more adult, harder kind of thing. And I really dug that. But especially with Iron Fist, I tried to like it because I really dug Daredevil. And I got into Luke Cage. I was like, all right, so far so good. Oh, where's Iron Fist? And he just fell flat on its face. And I just like, nope. Yep. I just could not get into it.
Me either.
So
I got through the first. I didn't even watch. Did they do 2 seasons of that?
Yes.
I think they did 2 seasons of all of them, right?
Yeah.
And 3 seasons of Daredevil.
Yes.
I didn't watch the second season of anything except for Daredevil. I watched all of Daredevil. I've watched Punisher, but I didn't watch the second season of any of the other ones.
Luke Cage was good, but I feel Luke Cage was maybe 3 episodes too long.
Okay.
But
yeah, I didn't check out the second season of that.
Yeah.
But the Defenders series really kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So
well, yeah. So I think they wrote themselves into a corner, and they just kind of like, fuck, what do we do? Kill them all.
There was just too many inconsistencies with those characters that it just didn't work for me. Yeah,
Punisher worked for me.
Punisher works. Yes, absolutely.
So the Punisher series was like spot on.
Yeah.
Like when he did his introduction in Daredevil, I was like, yeah, this is the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
And when they finally gave him his own seasons, I was just like, I'm all in. And it was fantastic stuff. And Barenthal just fucking killed that role.
Yep.
So he's got a job for life as far as I'm concerned.
As I understand it, there will be more with him at some point in some fashion.
I was worried that it wasn't going to be Thomas Jane, because when Thomas Jane's Punisher, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is great. But when they did War Journal, I was like, I couldn't get into.
I didn't care for War Journal too much. I watched it once, and no. And
then when they did the Dirty Laundry short,
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, give me Thomas. How can you not have Thomas Jane as the Punisher? It's like he
beats the piss of the guys with a bottle of Jack.
Yes, and then when we get Bernthal as taking over as Frank Castle, I was just like, I'm a Thomas Jane guy. And I went, wait a minute, I think I'm a John Bernthal guy now. So he did just a fantastic job. Yep. And I think he's like Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock.
Yep.
There's no two ways around that. And give me more of that. I want more of that.
What about Night Nurse? Rosario? Come on, it's Rosario.
Night Nurse was Rosario Dawson as Night Nurse was fantastic. And it was not just because it's Rosario Dawson, because she was not made up to be the hot chick.
Yeah.
But she was the harried. Like when she pulled up that one, I think it was like a claw thing or something, like one of the hand ninjas dropped it, And it was just like, oh, she's going to be Hellcat now kind of thing. And I'm just like, she did such a great job as being the human connection. Mm-hmm. She was the anchor for the viewer.
She was the thread that weaved all 4 stories together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And when, like I said, when you look at the street level characters that we saw, and Rosario showed up, and it was like, oh,
because they're all operating within like blocks of each other.
Yeah,
they just didn't cross paths. Yeah. Like,
and I like how they kept it vague sometimes, or about my one friend from the kitchen, and it's just like, oh, I know who she's talking about.
And they talk at some point. I think they talk about, well, I'm not bulletproof. I think she had something like, oh, I know a guy who is, or something like that. Like, just throws it out there.
Yeah. And there was a few references to the MCU.
Yeah, in the first season of Daredevil in particular, because they mentioned the incident.
Yeah, me and you keep tripping over Daredevil and Deadpool.
Do we?
Yeah. Oh. I've noticed it because because when we go to say Daredevil, our instinct is just to say Deadpool. So
get out of my head, Blade.
Yeah. Just start stabbing that with a fork. Get out.
Get shot collar every time we say it wrong.
But I want to see more of that. Night Nurse, she was a fantastic glue to that universe.
Now, this is what I've read and what I've seen, that this is what they're planning. Like, they're going to bring back this and that, but we don't know what capacity. We don't know if it's going to be series. We don't know if it's going to be a film of some sort. That part's still vague. Yeah,
like I said, now that they have this streaming service, it would be so much easier to do it as a series.
Yeah, because
I think a lot of people are getting burnt out of the comic book movies now. I get that feeling. Like, I did not go see Spider-Man Far From Home.
Neither did I.
So remember back in the day when we were like, new Marvel movie coming out, new superhero movie coming out, we would like stand in line to get in there. Now it's just like, I'll wait.
Yep. I didn't go. Now, Far From Home it wasn't that I'm burned out on comic book movies. More, it was just Endgame left me in such a state. I felt something like I don't want to rush back into that world. Even though this is the next step and all, it wraps up a few of the last loose threads in regards to Peter and all, but I did not feel the pull because Endgame just left me so full, if you will.
Yeah. Watching Endgame now, I'm going through bits and pieces of it. I am struck with all the bad comedy that they're trying. Like, it's a serious situation. Okay, they're trying to inject comedy into this. I'm not even talking about Fat Thor yet.
I know.
It's just the comedy, especially like Smart Hulk. When they're introduced to Smart Hulk now, like, he's doing the finger guns and shit like this. I'm just like,
a dab.
This is unnecessary. It's forced. It felt forced. And it's just like, I'm not trying to nitpick and shit on it for the sake of shitting on it. Like, what I've seen so far is kind of cool. And like I said, I saw it once in the theater. And to me, some of the comedy is taking me out because it feels so rammed into, we got to get these chuckles in, and I'm just like, no.
Well, we agree to disagree on this. Okay. Yeah. Because to me, they shifted gears because Infinity War left things in such a dark place. They needed to lighten the mood to move it, because they're still dealing with that darkness. Yeah. It's still there hanging. You couldn't escape it.
No.
But just lighten the mood to push us through until we get the big, okay, we win, or whatever the case, wherever it was going. That's how I took it. That's how it makes me feel.
I think of it as, because it is it's 5 years down the road from the incident, from the snap. Mm-hmm. Nobody recovers that fast. We're still talking about 9/11, right?
Yeah.
So when they say, "Oh, chuckles and grins," kind of thing, and comedy for comedy's sake, no, this is still, like you said, a very real or dark situation. They should have. There should have been more gravity.
I do get what you're saying. I do understand that. To me it still worked for me. Okay, but everybody sees it differently.
Yeah.
I think I've met one other person who's kind of in the same boat as you.
Yeah,
where they didn't really care for the humor. Come to think of it, I think it was my dad. I don't think he really cared for Endgame too much.
The idea of Endgame, I get it. It was just like it started with Thor Ragnarok, when I see them like trying to force the comedy into the narrative, just like no, it's just it didn't work for me. Like I get it. It's not DC. It's not dark. It's not gods fighting humans kind of thing. This is, you're trying to find the silver lining in a lot. Why is Mike anyway? I get that, but it just felt like it was too much too often. That kind of thing.
Sure.
Because every time Thor was on screen, Hulk was on screen, Stark was on screen, they're quipping. Just doing quips and one-liners. I'm just like, no,
if you want that, you watch a Deadpool movie.
Exactly.
I get it.
So that's
I see your points entirely. Yeah. I do understand that. For me, it all worked. So but I do understand what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Damn it.
So
I want my dark comics dark.
You brought up a couple things that brought some other news to mind. So DC, they have their own streaming service, DC Universe. Yes. Came out a year ago.
Not available in Canada.
It's failing.
Oh, it's failing?
It's failing. Nothing's been made official yet, but word is it's going to be canned.
Wow.
Now, what happens to that Because Titans is crushing.
Yeah. Titans.
Doom Patrol is pretty popular.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, even though it only has the one season, has done pretty well.
Yep.
Where do they end up? HBO Max, apparently.
Really?
Apparently, nothing again is official, but apparently there's a very good chance that Warner Brothers is going to make a deal with HBO Max and put all their original content over there, including the mythical Snyder Cut of Justice League.
No way.
Because more and more information is getting released about this infamous Snyder Cut.
Really?
Zack Snyder being the original director of Justice League, he had to leave because of family issues, and Joss Whedon was brought in to finish it up, and they did a bunch of reshoots, and apparently it changed the movie entirely. Huh. Apparently there is a Zack Snyder Cut that he put together. Apparently they said for the longest time it would never see the light of day, but now they've been dropping hints, and I don't know if there's been photos, whatever, but apparently now the rumor is HBO Max.
Really? Okay. I'm going to have to keep my eye out for that.
Now, if you haven't watched Titans, I cannot recommend it enough.
Oh, I watched the hell out of Titans.
I've got 2 episodes left or to be caught up on the latest season. So
season 2's out?
Season 2 is out, and they're like 11 episodes deep.
Damn it. Is that on Netflix? Season 2?
No, because it's Disney Universe. It's DC Universe.
Oh, okay, because
it's a DC Universe show.
I watch Titans on Netflix.
Okay, so season 2 is probably not on Netflix unless it's not available in Canada.
Nope.
So, okay, I don't know then. But it'll eventually probably be on Netflix in Canada then, since the universe is not available here. But
That was just a great series. I really dug Titans.
Yeah, season 1 was fantastic.
See?
So surprising.
Give me my dark heroes.
Yeah.
So,
And I always felt the vibe of it was very, very reminiscent. I loved the show Gotham.
yeah.
And the vibe. There's no direct connection, but the look and feel of it and Titans, very, very similar.
Yep.
It makes me wonder if they're in the same universe. It might be possible because of the timing. Gotham is, Gotham ends with him putting the cowl on.
Yeah, but
So-
this is an older. I don't know if it lines up very well.
I don't know.
There might be a stretch there. Now,
It'd be quite the jump because we have seen Bruce Wayne in Titans in season 2.
yeah,
If you don't know who it is, it's
yeah.
the actor who plays Jorah Mormont on Game of Thrones.
really?
He's Bruce Wayne.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There's a great episode in season 2 where Dick Grayson is going through some self-doubt issues.
Yep.
And Bruce is there nattering at him the whole time. But he's not really there.
Oh, he's just in it.
He's just there.
Nice.
Making all sorts of snide comments and whatnot. It was so good.
Okay, between Titans and the Boys.
Ooh.
That's
Ooh. Those are two different animals entirely.
kinda, but there is a vibe.
Oh, definitely.
Between
Definite
the two,
similarities
yeah.
for sure. But
So-
The Boys almost comes across at times almost parody. Almost.
I think if they went closer to the comic book for the Boys instead of
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the comic at all, so
Yeah.
I only know the show, and
Yeah.
I love that first season. My dad didn't care for it. Again, my dad's got weird tastes, but he's also not huge into movies, and he was never a comic book guy and all that stuff. Right? He put up with that stuff mostly for me growing up.
Okay, boomer.
So, but the Boys versus Titans.
Now you're used to the DC universe; these are very familiar characters.
Yeah,
to you.
I know.
But when you are your first introduction to
See, watching Titans, and like you said, I'm familiar with these characters, so I can kind of predict a little bit of, this is probably going to happen, whatever.
yeah. With the boys,
is-
new.
everything's completely. I didn't see any of that coming.
No.
And there's a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right from the first thing.
Yep.
The first thing, holding hands with her and poof.
It was like-
what?
Yeah. So see, being surprised like that is that. Give me more of that, please.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
That's
yes.
to me that was so fresh, so new. It was one of those things where it was just like I don't know what to expect. This is the one of the things that I wish I could go back in time, not see Star Wars when it first came out, see it fresh with adult eyes and stuff like that. Just like, wow. Just to be able to experience something new for the first time again, or to do that, like especially something like Star Wars, Empire, Jedi, to watch those three, never to know anything about them, and just like be sitting in the theater, just like having your mind blown.
You wouldn't be afraid that having an adult's mature mind, that it wouldn't work for you? You don't have that fear?
I don't think so.
Like childlike wonder goes a long way.
Childlike wonder
particularly
goes a-
when you're dealing with like sci-fi and fantasy,
Yeah, but Empire, that was not childlike.
Oh no,
by any stretch of the imagination. That was the one.
childhood nightmares.
Yeah, that was the one. Like, hey, life sucks. You're gonna die. Oh, by the way,
Or get your hand cut off.
yeah, the good guys don't always win, and
The Mandalorian. the fact that he's got his own carbonite freezing chamber on his ship.
Yes.
He's just got bounties hanging there. Like
that is, it was an awesome touch.
Right back to the beginning. Yeah.
Yep. Go when you watch episode 2. You're just gonna go like, this is the best TV show.
Oh, I have
ever.
no doubt.
So,
I have no doubt. What people I have on my Facebook who have watched it, every single person is just loving every second of it.
I'm trying not to spoil it for anybody that might want to watch it.
We've already thrown up one small spoiler already, so
I know,
but it's okay.
But
it's a baby. It's a baby.
He's so adorable. It was like 135 in. So
The fact that he is so adorable makes me think I might actually be able to watch episode 2 tonight because Crystal might get drawn into the cuteness.
Yeah.
I know she hates Star Wars. She hates anything Star Wars.
Yeah, but
the cuteness might get her.
So cute. So cute.
I don't expect her to watch the show with me, but absolutely not.
Somebody I noticed on Facebook, somebody had posted a picture of Baby Yoda, like just a bunch of I was like, so cute. So cute.
That's going to be the hot commodity.
It is. Everybody's going like, oh, the porgs are the new Ewoks. They're like, fuck porgs.
Then along comes Baby Yoda. Hold my beer.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Listen, you want to see
who?
Yeah, you want to see some stuff fly off the shelves? Hello, Baby Yoda.
Yep.
And like, there's going to be nothing that little face won't sell.
Yep.
So. Oh, that's right. We got to get out of here, man.
All right.
135.
Holy shit. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happens when you get gushing about nerd stuff.
That's right.
Let your nerd flag fly. There's your title.
Let your
nerd flag fly.
Okay. It was either that or look out, the theater kids showed up. Yeah. I can put both of them up.
There you go.
We'll see what happens. All right. So,
theater kids and nerd flags.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's it. Theater kids and nerd flags.
Yep.
That's it. All right. So, for another week at Dispatches from Shed Quarters, this has been Mike
and Jason.
We will talk with you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.